blue spawns, and I probably would lose the 1v1, right?
Let's say the 1v1 was completely 50-50, like it was a coin flip. He wins it or you win it. What would be the thing that tells you that you can invade?
Well, Vision and PRIO,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's pretty much it. Vision and PRIO.
But the thing is, Vision actually isn't as important because PRIO is everything. If it's a coin flip 50-50, the reason why PRIO is important is because anytime you go into the enemy jungler, the enemy team is always closer to you. Like Ornn will, if you invade Krugs, Ornn will always be closer to you. Cassiopeia will never be closer to you unless Ornn is stuck under tower, which is why PRIO matters so much. If you invade Raptors, the Nico will always be closer to you unless she is stuck under tower. If you invade blue buff, the Pyke and the Samira will always be closer to you unless they are stuck under tower and your Karma is already roaming. That's like that's the power of PRIO. That's why PRIO is everything when it comes to invading and fighting.
But hold on, if they are under their tower, wouldn't it be like faster if they walk to their jungle, like to the red buff?
Well, the thing is, in some situations, people have a hard time giving up farm. And so if they do roam to you and you just leave, they're going to lose 200 gold. And so that's why it's a giant chess match, right? Like, let's say you invade blue, Pyke and Samira leave a cannon wave down here while your team's beating the tower to death. You notice that your people aren't rotating, then you just leave. And if you leave, then you guys win the chess match because even though you don't get the blue, bot lane loses a lot more than you actually would lose by not getting blue. It's all trade-offs.
Is this what people call tempo?
Tempo is the ability to apply pressure. So tempo would be, let me explain. I have a really good example actually right here. Nico is backing. She now is going to lose tempo. The reason why I can say that is because she had to take a back. She gave up her tempo, aka her pressure on the map, to purchase an item that will help her in the long run. But that will it's kind of the same thing as PRIO. It's very similar. But tempo has to do with like keeping pressure on them at all times. When someone says tempo, they're talking about usually a back timer. Like if I go back right now, I need to back right now so I don't lose tempo. I want to keep my hands around their throat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what tempo means basically. Because look,
so basically it's yeah.
Yeah, so the Nico does not have tempo right now. She doesn't have PRIO. She lost tempo, so she's not going to be able to put pressure. Okay, so let's see how you take this. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Real quick, before the video ends, I wanted to explain tempo and PRIO, because I think I kind of muddied the waters there a little bit for some of y'all. PRIO really just means that you have the priority to leave your lane. One of the examples we talked about was invading the blue buff and then who gets PRIO. One of the key things I said is if your Karma is in bot lane shoving it and she pushes the wave under tower, even though Samira and Pyke could roam as well, Karma, if she gets PRIO pushing the wave, she actually has the first option to roam. She has roam or push priority. Basically, what the enemy team's first reaction is, unless they have crazy amounts of foresight, is to kill the minions right here and defend their tower. But if you push the wave, that means you're able to push and roam. And that is kind of the key underlying understood fact of PRIO, is that if you have PRIO, to use it, you have to have foresight and move and leave your lane and then roam to where something might be, especially if your jungler invades. You have to be aware of that kind of thing. Next, we talked about tempo, and I think tempo is the one that I wanted to explain a little bit more of. Tempo is when you are, let's say you're winning a fight. Let's say you're winning a matchup, 2v2, 1 versus 1, doesn't matter. Let's say that you win a kill early. Like let's say you kill them at level 6, and you haven't really touched their tower yet. Let's say that you're a red side mid laner. You kill the enemy mid laner, and then you crash a wave. You could either, and let's say you have Ignite and they have teleport. You could either hit this tower in an attempt to get one plate, let's say the first plate, or you could reset so that you can get back to lane faster and keep your tempo. Whatever I said earlier in the video, I said tempo is your ability to put pressure on the map. It's really your ability to keep pressure on the map. You can't have tempo if you're losing. A winner has tempo. The person that kind of commands the lane has tempo. And so if you want to not greed for the tower plating, or reset so you can constantly put pressure on the enemy laner, that is applying tempo. That is keeping tempo. I hope this makes sense. If you guys have any questions, please comment in the comment section and I'll try to explain that better. Thank you for watching, and my coaching stuff is in the description below. I love you.
I never wanna hear